Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Look, if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about moving down to Albuquerque, and you're wondering, what can I expect when I'm moving down here? What is it like to purchase a house in Albuquerque? Well, lucky for you, in this video, I'm going to be talking about that. So let's get right into it. Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Eli, and if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom, somewhere along here. That way you guys are never missing out on any kind of videos, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque has to offer. Now, aside from doing these videos, I am also a local real estate agent here in Albuquerque, and I manage the surrounding areas. And whether you're thinking about moving down here within the next 30 days, 6 months, or the next year, that number popping up on the screen here is my direct line. Go ahead and feel free to reach out at any time. That way we can book a Zoom call or get on a video call to talk about what the next steps are to get you down here. All right, now we're talking about the market here in Albuquerque. In terms of the market, it's still pretty competitive. We're still looking at a low inventory. We're looking about less than 30 days, which is about 600 homes. That's the average that I'm seeing right now. And when we're talking about average home price, you're looking at $320. When a house hits the market, that's what most people are pricing at. Doesn't mean that's what they're buying at. That's what Zillow is saying that the average home price is sitting at. It's $320. The average sale price is around $350. I'm thinking it's because a lot more first-time home buyers are coming into the market, so they are looking for that 3-bed, 2-bath house, which in terms around that $350 area is about a good, decent, 1,400 to 1,700 square foot home nowadays, especially since the home prices have gone up, right? And what we're starting to see is a lot more people are getting used to that higher interest rate, so they're not afraid of it, and they're trying to jump into the game to be able to make sure that they can secure a house for a lower price. This one right here is a very important one, guys. You're going to want to talk about the right neighborhood. You're going to want to sit down and really discuss your wants and needs, right? What type of amenities you're looking for. Do you want to be closer to a school, a college, your job, shopping, dining, or you just kind of want to get away from all that and live kind of that country lifestyle? Well, having those conversations with your realtor is going to be super important to be able to dictate, hey, this area is kind of what you're looking for. And then you can dial it in and review the type of style of home that you want. Because if you're looking for a ranch style home versus like a regular urban living home, it's really going to depend on what side of town you're looking on. Then if you don't have those conversations, it's going to be really hard to pinpoint that. So get with your realtor, make a list if you have to. Hey, this is what I want. And relatively, if a commute is going to be a super big thing for you, usually whatever part of town you're at, you can get to one side to the other within 20 to 30 minutes. If you're in traffic, I apologize, it's going to take a lot longer, 45 minutes to an hour, just because traffic does get a little heavier from 7 to 8 and then from 5 to 6. Personally, just because I've sat in it, it's not terrible. It moves at a slow pace, and sometimes you could even take some of the side streets in order to navigate your way home a little bit faster. What I've learned is sometimes it actually is the same amount of time. So be mindful of those things, sit down with your realtor, have that conversation, and we can sit down together and talk about, hey, what is it that you're looking for and what are your deal breakers? I touched on it just a bit, right? The style of home is really going to dictate a lot for you. Are you going to be looking for that more traditional Southwest style home? Or are you going to be looking for that, new trendy kind of ranch style home with, the real beautiful decorative accents and stuff like that? Or are you just looking for a house that fits your needs? Really, that's what's really going to dictate all of this for you guys. First is the neighborhood, right? I want to live in this area, and this is a type of style of home. Can we make that happen? And those are the conversations that we're going to have on this call whenever we hop on it and talk like, hey, what areas interest you? What kind of homes do you like? Do you like that old Southwest style home? Do you want to buy old versus new? And right now, Pulte and D.R. Horton are always having good incentives, right? I just recently sold a home where my buyers got $7,500 towards appliances and their closing costs, right? Whatever didn't get used for their appliances did get applied to their closing costs, which helped them out tremendously. I think they only had to come to the closing table with a couple $1,000s, which was far less than what they had originally thought, which was in the double digits. So that really helps out a ton. If you're wondering like, hey, I'm looking to buy a new house because I don't want to find a house that great, right? If I am looking for a house that is going to be a little bit older, I can put a little bit of money into it. I got some extra cash and I want to add some value to it because in 5 years, I'm thinking about, hey, I'm not going to stay in this home forever, but I want to sell it and be able to buy my forever home after that. Take the equity and do what I really want with it. But for now, I just want to get down there and I don't really want to do all kinds of repairs. What new home builds are within this price range? And that's where we go into a deep dive, start talking about the areas, and then really pinpoint exactly what that move and that house looks like for you. The trends right now within the market are not all over the place. They're pretty predictable with interest rates going up and, staying at a high level. A lot of more people are starting to realize like, hey, interest rates are a variable. They can change, but home prices are really not going down. There's not going to be a market crash anytime soon. So we might as well just try to get in the market right now because the only thing that is going to change is home prices. So they're going to start to go up. With that being said, there is a lot more first-time home buyers coming into the market just because they are getting comfortable with that higher interest rate. They're starting to realize like, hey, if we budget down, we can afford this and then refinance down the road. That way we can lower our payment. With all of that coming into play and sellers not realizing like the market has changed, they're still kind of living in last year's market. We have to bring them down just a little bit because sometimes homes are sitting a little longer than we expect. And with that, they're willing to negotiate credits and prices a little bit more because if they're selling right now, they're selling for a reason. That's not just because they want to make money. They're selling because, number one, they're either moving out of state, right? Like you guys are moving out of state, moving down here, and that's probably why you're selling. And you're probably seeing that in your market. So you can understand right now that sellers are willing to negotiate credits and price right up front, right out the gate when you're making that offer. And most of the time in between the deal, it goes smooth because, hey, they understood how hard it was to get you. They don't want to lose you. They really value you as a buyer unless you're coming, and asking for basically the whole house to be repaired, which does tend to happen. And us realtors, we have to have those real conversations where it's outside of real estate, like, hey, like, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want? Because right now you're basically telling me to go and tell this other person to rebuild the house. And that's not a good strategy. That's not going to be the way that you want to handle this, especially if you're looking to, purchase a good home. It's just only going to derail the deal. It's going to make everything go south for you. And whatever plans you had to come down here, it's going to be even harder. And we're going to have to restart the process all over again. So think about that kind of thing when you're moving down here. What is it that I really value? Am I looking to buy a house like the trend right now? Looking to buy a house to add some value? Or do I just want to move down there to be able to just bring my stuff in a U-Haul and just set it up and live life? Don't have to do any major repairs or anything like that. Maybe I want to change a wall, paint it, right? All that kind of stuff. Or if the house has carpet, I just want to rip it up because I have allergies and I can't deal well with all that dirt and that stuff just staying in there, which like me, I can't deal with all that stuff. So even if I buy a new house, if I find a way to finagle them doing the whole house, which in most cases right now, they're just, doing the bare bones and kind of making it easier for a person to buy a house and packaging it all without giving them so many options. It's what I've been noticing. Maybe some builders will change from here to there, and it just really depends on the community. Okay, so for the most important part here, when you're buying a house and setting the expectations of really what's going on right now in the market and what you can kind of take away as far as like, what can I really expect as far as like just black and white. For a majority of the time, most sellers are offering credits even before you even try to negotiate anything, just because they want to make sure that they can help you because they understand that interest rates are something that we cannot control and they want to sell their house, right? And then once you get into the deal, the mix of it, 95% of the time you're not conducting any kind of crazy inspections unless you're freaked out about something that you've seen, a crack in the floor, plumbing, whatever the case is. And then that's when we bring in the other guys to conduct out of normal inspections from the home inspection and the termite inspection that is pretty much standard. And then the lenders conduct their appraisal. Now that appraisal runs about $600 and that inspection runs about anywhere from $350 to about $500, all depending on what you're looking for. And that's both the home and termite included. And some places might even offer like military discounts, first responder discounts, all those kinds of things, which helps out in return, right? Because I do help a lot of the first responders here, believe it or not. I direct them to a couple of options, and most of the time they are getting a good deal on their inspections, and that helps them out because it puts a little bit more money into their pocket. Another thing that's helping out that we're starting to see more lenders do, especially when buying a house and doing the deal, is a lot more lenders are starting to pre-underwrite deals, which in terms means is that they're doing, all the background stuff, and right out the gate, they're pretty much telling you that, yes, this is what you can approve, because most cases in the past, what we found out is that people were getting pre-qualified and pre-approved or whatever. Those words get mixed up all the time. And when it got to underwriting, we found a caseload of things that really derailed the deals and really had us scrambling, trying to figure out what we can do in order to save it, in order to get people to the closing table, because it sucks, right? You're so excited, you're so emotional, you're getting ready to get to the closing table, and then they tell you, yeah, hey, something popped up, sorry. That's pretty much the answer that they give you, because it's fact, right? It's paperwork. It's some information that they pulled or data that they pulled from some source that just, it almost happened to us. My wife, I don't know what information didn't cross-reference or what information wasn't true, and we're 2 days away from closing, and they told us this is what happened. My wife was devastated. I was devastated. And a big dream that we had for the longest of time, our home now, was not going to happen. Luckily enough, our lender was able to save it, and we're forever grateful for that. So a lot of lenders are starting to get away from that because they don't want to put themselves in that situation. And I don't blame them. I don't either. It's hard to explain to you why you can't purchase a house, especially if the information that I'm getting is pretty vague, because sometimes they don't give us all the details. We just kind of get lucky. Like I tell everybody, we get lucky enough to orchestrate the deal for you guys. All this great information, setting expectations, what's going on in the market, the average home prices, and how many homes we actually have on the market today. And today is July 1st? Today is July 1st, and there is about 600 homes on the market. And every other day we see, homes disappear and then another come, on the market. So that's kind of where we're sitting at. On the average, we were looking about 800 to 1,000 homes. That was kind of like a healthy market here in Albuquerque. Right now, the options are slim, just because there's a lot of fear still playing in that. But here pretty soon, I say within the next year or so, things will kind of return to normal. I've heard that it's going to be another 2 to 3 years. But in retrospect, a lot of people are moving down here. And again, like I said, that number popping up on the screen here is my direct line. And whether you're looking to move here within the next 30 days, tomorrow, yesterday, let's get on a Zoom call. Feel free to reach out at any time. That way we can really break down what it looks like to move down here and help you out in the best way possible. All right, guys, it's a nice day. It's a little bit breezy. It's nice and fresh out here. I'm gonna go get myself a cup of coffee. I think you guys should too. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.